Are you recording?
I am recording.
Are you good at pulling focus?
I am good at pulling focus. You see that? Boom.
You got a badass name. Okay, good. Awesome.
Action!
So I had the opportunity to work directly with Ubisoft, who makes the Far Cry series. And it was honestly one of the best experiences I've had as far as making YouTube videos. So they approached me and they gave me the opportunity / the budget to go to Hawaii and film a video, YouTube video, based on their video game that actually just came out, Far Cry 3. Basically, they gave me full creative control. They're like, we trust what you're doing on YouTube, just kind of do your thing. Obviously stay within the parameters of the video game. So Far Cry 3, it takes place in the jungles, out in the tropics. So I want to stay as true as possible to that whole location. And location, because it is so important, I thought Hawaii would be the best opportunity for that.
Exactly.
All right, Leanna, tell me what happened today.
Untamed horses.
Oh, it was a crazy adventure. We were running around, people were flying, falling all over the place. These guys were awesome. I mean,
was this?
It was the real deal.
Was it different than any other shoot you've been on?
Absolutely.
What makes it different than other things you've done?
Well, we're shooting in Hawaii. Haven't ever shot in Hawaii first, and that's a #1. I've never filmed with a bunch of awesome Polynesians.
Yeah. As far as the main location that I chose to shoot, I chose to film at Kualoa Ranch, which is one of my favorite locations to film just to begin with. Now, Kualoa Ranch, that's where they film movies such as Jurassic Park, 50 First States, The Mighty Joe Young, and TV shows like Lost and Hawaii Five-0. So it's kind of like the perfect movie filming location, and I mean, any movie you see that looks like it was shot in Hawaii was probably shot at Kualoa Ranch. So it's just awesome as far as scenery, as far as location. I've shot several videos there actually, and they have a lot of movie sets already there. But yeah, other than that, we just want to have fun. It should be a blast. We do have water, we have food back here. We'll sit out everything else, but just help yourself.
Do you guys like goldfish? We got goldfish.
We have goldfish.
I love goldfish.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I love goldfish.
Crap! I told him not to get all these goldfish because he got like 10 boxes of goldfish.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You made me put them all back.
I'm like a shark of those things, man.
Also, I had the opportunity, or I had the budget to bring some of my friends to take part in the video. So I got to choose 3 other friends: Leanna, who is the lead actress, Clint, who is another awesome filmmaker, and Jacob Schwarz, who's one of my best friends, and we went to film school together as well. So that's kind of how I chose the team.
Okay, what's going on right now, Liana?
I'm getting tied up.
And you're the actress of the show?
Yes, I am.
And where are you from originally?
Los Angeles.
And you had to come to Hawaii for work. How's that?
It's terrible. It's absolutely awful.
So you regret it?
I don't even know what
Worst
to
day
say
ever?
anymore. Yeah, worst day ever.
Okay, perfect.
Now, a big part as far as this first-person shooter is you see your hands and you see that there's tattoos on those hands. So that was a really important part for me when we're making this video, is I wanted to look as much like the real game as possible. So that's why we brought in the tattoos. Now, when we were shooting in Hawaii, I used Clint Jones as the main character that we see, his hands. Now, what makes this video a little different than typical first-person shooter videos out there is we had a mix of green screen shots and a mix of real life shots that we shot on location. The reason why we basically decided to do both is I wanted this to look as much like the video game as possible. I didn't want it to look straight up real life. I wanted it to look like the video game. And in the video game, the hands are in focus and the background is in focus. So in order to get that kind of look and that effect, we had to use a green screen. And then we used basically not the green screen when we had to not use the green screen.
Action!
Look in 3, 2, 1.
Look over! Ooh! You're sitting there!
And Liana! So a couple examples of that is whenever we had the main character interact with people or with like the Jeep, for example, when we jumped on the Jeep, that was Clint. He would run right next to me and he'd put his hand on the Jeep and we'd get up together. So we're literally side by side because we couldn't have the green screen interact with something that wasn't there. Same situation when we were jumping on the boat, is Clint was running literally right next to me. He put his hand down right next to me and we jump on the boat together at the exact same time. So it was almost kind of like a dance. So it took a little bit of time to choreograph, and literally we had 2 days to choreograph all these different shots. So yeah, it was a huge team effort, but it worked out great. Now, because when you play a video game, as far as first-person shooters go, it is a one-shot, which is a very hard thing to pull off when you're dealing with lots of people, lots of vehicles, and weapons. So it literally took like almost like half the day to choreograph it and then half the day to shoot these different things we were pulling off. So we just kept on choreographing it, and then it would take us several tries to get it right because everyone had to do exactly what they were supposed to do without any failing, or it just wouldn't work. So literally that's what you see in the video is a lot of different takes. And we tried to make this look like a one shot, and it actually is a total of 9 different cuts in there, or 9 different edits in there total, and we basically had to stitch those shots together to make it look like it was a one shot. So for example, the first shot, we look through the binoculars, I mean that's one cut right there, and then we cut back with the binoculars going down, that's another cut. So we have a lot of these things that kind of stitch shots together. When we run and we look in the binoculars originally to look at the beach, we were really not close to the beach at all. That was kind of on the other side, you know, like a mile down, half a mile down. So we were able to fake a lot of things just so we could have transitions to make the story feel a lot faster.
So we have spent all day filming, and now we have to park in a garage the size that's smaller than the car.
Well, not really.
Well, give or take.
Yeah.
We made it, Jake?
Yeah.
See, look, it took
Yeah.
us a couple minutes.
It's a success.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
mission accomplished.
No. Hold on. You're right. Bump it.
I guess I do it weird where you guys come from. Hey, good job, everyone.
So we shot the original video in Hawaii with Clint with his arms. He lives in LA, he went back, and then we had to add a couple extra shots while he was gone. So you can see here we had to use someone else because we couldn't fly Clint back here. So Parker volunteered to be the arms of the main character, and that's what's being done right now.
Action!
In order to be successful as far as a filmmaker goes, in my opinion, it all comes down to problem solving. If you can solve problems, you'll be a successful filmmaker. So one of the big problems we had is we were shooting, their end scene was originally going to be a big fight battle scene with a jet ski and a motorboat. The problem was once we started, we had to drive a half-hour boat ride to this little island that we're filming on, Secret Island, right off of Kualoa Ranch. And once we started filming, the motorboat kept on dying or running out of juice.
30 minutes later. What's going on, Leanna?
It's me against the machine, really. Okay.
And the machine doesn't want to work.
No.
And not only does it not want to work, it has not worked.
The entire time. Or, well, no, that's a lie. It started, but then as soon as I give it gas.
So we couldn't have this final scene that we planned with the jet ski and the rowboat, or the motorboat. So we had to make adjustments, and we had to make them fast because the sun was setting. So we basically figured out a kind of a different way to end the video, and that's what we did. The problem though is we were on this island, the sun was setting really fast. And we had probably, I don't know, 10, 15 people on the island, so we had to get them all back as quickly as possible. And because this boat we were originally planning on dropping people off did not work, we had to use the jet ski to tow everyone back on the motorboat.
We're here with the crew from the Far Cry. The island closed and we're not able to get off because all the boats left, and we're in a boat that is literally sinking.
We're sinking as
We're just doing a behind the scenes. Just keep going.
we're doing it behind the scenes.
So the boat we had, the engine stopped working the second we started using it, and we were on an island, which is not ideal. So our friend with the jet ski, Paul, he came to our rescue, and he rescued everyone else of the crew. Now we are the last remaining people headed back, and literally our boat is sinking. There are water bottles floating in our boat. It has been a great experience though, it's a good story.
Clint is freezing.
Dude, I'm so cold, man.
He's cold, he's nervous.
We're sinking, and I'm cold, and I can't think right. I can't think
Can't
straight.
feel his feet.
He's also afraid, he's greatly afraid of sharks.
I'm not that afraid of sharks. Well, hold on. Oh snap.
And it was just awesome because it was just very dramatic. It was getting pitch black. We didn't know what was going on. The sad part of the story though is after we essentially got rescued with the jet ski, when the jet ski was going back, it ran on a reef or something to that effect, and the jet ski basically got ruined, which was not part of the plan. And had to leave the island buying a new jet ski. Once again, that just goes back to filmmaking. It never goes as planned, regardless who you are, whether you're Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, these big time directors, or whether you're a everyday YouTuber or just this little kid with a camera. We all run into problems, and it just comes down to us figuring out how to make it work and making it work, and making people think that you didn't have any problems. Like, that's the key thing. When you watch this, we didn't want people to think, oh, so Devin ran into this problem, he ran into this problem. We try and make it look like it just worked flawlessly. And that's what making movies is all about, is faking the audience for them to think something completely different. Okay, so we are here with Chris. And he is decked out in army gear. Our friends at WeaponBlender, they hooked us up with all this army gear. Tell me a little bit about WeaponBlender, what it is.
We are a click and mortar store. We have 2 storefronts here in Utah, and we have an online store that we started 6 years ago. We sell airsoft guns, gear, accessories, everything you need to get out there and sling some plastic at your friends.
And your guys' guns, like you have guns that literally look like, as far as airsoft guns go, you have airsoft guns that look like the real thing, like, correct?
That's half the fun. When you get a good gun, it looks the part, feels the part. Most of the time people think of airsoft and they think of the cheap, clear plastic springers you pick up at Walmart. Not necessarily something like this.
Which is the real deal. And they actually did a bunch of research on the costumes, the guns. Let's actually look at these pictures really fast. So they actually watched like all the video game trailers, everything like that. And tell us a little bit about what you guys discovered as you guys were researching the game, and from these pictures, just what you gathered as far as making the costumes or gathering the costumes together.
They use a lot of shmogs, which you'll find all over video games, although theirs are all red shmogs. So those are the things you see wrapped around their necks. You'll see special forces, or a lot of times people think of them just as Haji rags, but a lot of people use them. Most of them are pretty cut and dry as far as loadouts go. Jeans, fatigues, and then some sort of assault vest or even a web belt. So they are pretty simple, but it's important to get the right stuff.
So these are AK-74s, and if you look at this one right here, you can see that it looks exactly like the one that we have, down to the mount that we put on it. Obviously this weathering job, we have to take a few liberties with that because they don't come like that.
If you guys need to get your guns, come check us out. Glad to help.
And as you can see, they not only have guns, but they have the whole full deck of armor and whatever else you call it. I'm not sure what you guys call it. Patty?
Gear, just the gear.
Okay.
We get excited over gear and we got lots of it.
So yeah, once again, thanks guys, and that's it.
This is Clint trying to get his quota of goldfish done for the day so that he can get his other quota of
Clint,
goldfish.
we made a deal. Clint got a bunch of goldfish, and you don't buy goldfish on a film shoot.
No, you always
When
buy.
we say a bunch, I mean
He bought 2 big boxes, like we're talking Costco-sized boxes, and we don't deal with that. And he promised he would eat them all.
We don't deal with that.
I lost my voice, by the way. I normally don't sound like this, but Clint said he would eat all of them, and then I told him I'd buy him another box if he did.
Did you show what the box looks like?
Can I have a
Definitely
goldfish?
gotta demonstrate
Yeah, you can.
that.
Show us how you
How
eat the
big?
goldfish. And why do you love goldfish?
Dude, they're just great. There's a smile on every
They're
fish.
nutritious. Actually, I don't think there is.
Smile in every bite.
Look, yeah, there's a smile on every fish,
Okay.
and you can just palm it like this. Just boom.
Okay. Every so often we'll be doing these kind of videos, and they're videos that I'm super stoked on and really proud of. And honestly, this Far Cry 1 has been probably one of the best experiences I've had as far as filmmaking, even though we did have a lot of problems. It was just awesome making new friends, working in a place that I loved, and having a budget to do it when I'm so used to working on no budget. So there you have it, Far Cry 3. Check out the video game trailer. It's gonna pop up, and make sure to check out the original video, Far Cry 3 in real life. Other than that, any other questions you guys have, leave in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them all starting now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. See you guys soon.